Let's have a look at their starting side for today. 37 years of age, Cliff Lyons. This is their side: King, Frew, Torrens, Hill and Reeves. Lyons will wear 19. Field, the forwards: Kosef, Gartner, Mackay, Cunningham, Tuvey and Tierney. Bob Fulton, the coach. What about it, Fatty? Cliff Lyons is back.
Well, desperate times need desperate measures, and it is desperate down at the Eagles because they haven't had a win yet. And Adam Hayden out for quite a few weeks, and Cliffy, he thinks he can provide some direction.
And now the Newcastle Knights. You couldn't say travelling greatly as far as success is concerned this year. 1 from 3. Paul Harrigan comes back from injury today. Their side is Hughes, Albert, Baderis, Craigie, Moody, the halves, the Johns brothers, and the forwards: Peden, Lomax, Shields, Harrigan in 18 and captain, Walters and Butterfield. Troy Fletcher comes back on the bench today from injury, and Peter Sterling, a big boost to have the chief in the Knights ranks.
For their confidence especially. He's been sorely missed, has not played since that opening game at the Stadium Australia in round 1, and the foundation that he sets along with Tony Butterfield, instrumental in so many Knights victories. We'll be looking for a big one this afternoon, the chief.
Very blustery conditions here at Marathon Stadium. Steve Roach can tell us more. Good afternoon.
Yeah, a couple of seasons ago, this would have been the hottest ticket in town, but not today. Manly struggling for form, and Newcastle aren't the sort of side to come up against it when you're doing it tough, especially on their home ground. 22 degrees, a gusty sou'easter. Manly have won the toss, are running right to left with the breeze in the first half.
Well, Steve Roach, this breeze in the first half at the backs of the Manly players. Bill Harrigan, the referee. And it is time on with Andrew Johns. And Manly it is Field. And back for Mackay. He's in the second row for an injured Stephen Menzies. Mackay also coming back after missing last week against Auckland. And now Gartner. 25 metres out from their own line. Manly desperate to get off to a good start. They've already lost once this year to Newcastle. That was in round 1 at Stadium Australia, and some big score lines since then. Head-to-head, though, is in Manly's favour. A strong record overall and also here at Marathon. Mackay gets a second touch. Pushed back from the 40-metre line. The crowd just a little bit down on what Newcastle were hoping for today. Still very healthy, though. And Field kicking from inside the 40-metre line, and that kick on the fly has made 50 metres. Mark Hughes back to his own goal line. And out he comes. There's plenty of Manly chasers there. Kosef, the first man.
Well, you talk about the record between these two clubs, Andrew. The Knights have not beaten Manly here at Marathon since 1991. But Manly come into this game after 3 matches, averaging 41 points scored against them. Quite remarkable.
So Newcastle in possession for the first time in the match. And Butterfield relinquishing the captaincy today with Harrigan back now. Walters makes 10 metres. Already some defensive problems for Manly. They were just a little slow there and covering up once the offload was made. And now Shields gets over halfway, and Harrigan has caught Manly inside the 10. And now Mackay has kicked the ball away, and Harrigan marches them another 10.
And all of a sudden, instead of kicking for touch, we might see a shot at goal here. Matthew Johns was looking to get an early tap going. Mackay came in, booted the football away. Harrigan saw it. Johns takes the tap anyway.
And Matthew to brother Andrew, stepping away from Gartner. He was covered up by Mackay, 20 metres out. And Newcastle, the roll continues. They'll put the squeeze on early on Manly with Harrigan, 15 out. Walters, Andrew Johns is to the right side, Matthew to the left, and that's the way they go. Matthew, inside ball with Peden. And chopped down 5 metres from the line. Tuvey was low in the tackle. And Walters to the right, Matthew. Kicking well before the last. Back goes King, back goes Frew. And over the dead ball line.
Well, already Manly under some pressure, missed a couple of tackles. First up one-on-one tackles, some indecision here. Frew, I think he went to let it go. He did let it go, but Andrew King, the safe option there, was Tony Butterfield breathing down their necks. Just on Cliff Lyons, he's only approached during the week with Adam Hayden being out for quite a few weeks. They just felt they needed some direction. Cliffy's kept himself quite fit. He's been training with his under-17 teams that he coaches. He did the phosphate test during the week, come up pretty well, and he's cut the bungers down from 40 to 35.
Well, he's got all the inside information. Phosphate test. And Butterfield outside the 20-metre line for Newcastle. Harrigan, they go high on Harrigan, and still he offloads. Kosef was the man who went basically close enough to the neck. And it comes wide with Baderis. He returns from shoulder surgery today.
I was at Parramatta to get spell phosphate. That was the test you got in the side.
I thought it was a public school, the phosphate, but there you go. And Newcastle are with it, 10 metres out from the Manly line. It comes across for Andrew Johns. Across the line, and Lomax offloaded. Boy, there's some offloads here. Another one from Harrigan. Then Andrew Johns gets it through. Hughes comes through. And King bats it dead. Another line dropout.
It is another line dropout, but I wonder whether Andrew Johns, if he could have that play again, would pass the football. Second phase play here. Lomax offloads to Harrigan. He just holds him at bay with one hand, basically. But if he'd have thrown that to the left, there were big numbers up against only two Manly defenders.
So King is the last line for Newcastle, the former last line for Manly, the former Gold Coast fullback. And here goes Butterfield coming back. He has fond memories of their clash last year against Manly. He scored 2 tries at Brook Park. And now Craigie, he pushed away from Cliffy Lyons. He's 25 metres out in centre field. Walker's a dummy half. With Matthew Johns, then Harrigan. Only a touches early for the Chief and another offload. That's 3 for the match. Away now with Mark Hughes, running at Cliff Lyons. That time making the tackle. The assist was Gartner. And Peden with Matthew Johns to the 20, trying to step past Mackay. An offload from Matthew Johns this time for Peden. Kosef the tackler, 15 metres out. Knights in search of first points, and Walters darts away. Steve Walters within an ace of scoring. In fact, he may well have got there. It's a try to Newcastle. Steve Walters stretches out the right arm, and what a start for the Knights.
I couldn't believe there was some criticism of Steve Walters being signed. I still think he's got plenty to offer this game, especially from dummy half. He scoots out, he catches them off guard, straight through the middle, beats the tackle of King. He's tackled short by Tuvey, but has the presence of mind to reach out and slam the ball down on the line.
Well, it's their third set of 6 against them in a row, and that's just awful defence up the middle. The pivot defensive forwards were too wide, just left a big hole. Steve Walters had to run from dummy half. No other option, and that's a great put down.
Just see here with Andrew King, he lifts his head when he goes into the tackle. It wasn't a particularly difficult one, but the head's up. Tuvey tried to come across and save the day. And Walters, he did very, very well to keep control of that football. Scores adjacent to the posts. And 4 should become 6 with Andrew Johns about to convert that man's try.
Arm of Steve Walters, in fact, it was that they got there. A healthy career tally as well, his second for Newcastle. And now Andrew Johns, this kick, he won't want to have them too far out today. The ball has fallen off the mound. This breeze, I don't think he could kick it much beyond the 20-metre line. It is that strong. And he's taken this one back only 14 metres. Johns had a field day in that round 1 clash too. Against Manly, scored a try, kicked 6 goals and also a field goal. And into the breeze in the first half, Newcastle with first points. So Johns from 14 out and successful. So 4 becomes 6 in Sunday football. The Knights over the Eagles, 6-0.
It's the Aussie Dream, a place to call your own.
Chop some wood for the barbie, will you?
A place to relax, unwind, and let your hair down.
It's a real Australian obsession.
Home sweet home on Our Century, followed by Our Country Australia from 6:30 tonight on NBN.
The 1999 Honda Accord V6L comes with every feature you'd expect of a prestige luxury sedan, with the added advantage of an awesomely powerful V6 VTEC engine.
Have a happy Easter with fresh seafood from Anchors. Forget the queues. Order now and we'll have it ready for you. For quality fresh seafood this Easter, ring Anchors and order now. Anchors Seafood, open every day this Easter.
$20,000 cash. Collect Herald Auction dollars and you could pick up $20,000 cash. Plus, each week readers can bid for $20,000 worth of prizes from Bing Lee. Details in tomorrow's Newcastle Herald. Grab yours and know what's happening.
Here's a real Easter meal deal from Henny Penny. 1 Henny Penny barbecue chicken or 8 original Henny Penny pieces, plus 1 large Henny Penny chips, 1 large gravy, 1 large peas, and 1 Henny Penny garlic bread. All this for a crazy $13.95 from a Henny Penny store near you.
Fantastic Furniture declares war on prices. Why pay $7.99 for this sofa bed? At Fantastic Furniture, you get a sofa bed and matching sofa for $7.99. That's right, sofa bed and sofa, just $7.99. Only from a Fantastic Furniture store near you. Vincent Street, Cessnock, the Entrance Road, Erina, Pacific Highway, Gateshead, Longbridge Homemaker Centre, Maitland, Hunter Street, Newcastle, Singleton Plaza, Singleton, Homemaker Supercentre, Tuggerah. Sofa bed and sofa, just $7.99. This is war.
Introducing the all-new John Deere 6010 series tractors, a powerful statement in versatile performance. 3 new transmissions, super responsive hydraulics, outstanding visibility, and superior driver comfort. And then there's the 7010 series, with more powerful engines, smoother power shifting, precision steering, high-capacity hydraulics, a tight-turning mechanical front-wheel drive option, and more. From Sharps Tractor Centres, your John Deere dealer.
The fact that this man is proud to have his name up on the sign above Steve Mason Family Cars Mayfield means something. It means Steve Mason is proud of his business, proud of his special range of sound, safe, late-model vehicles, cars that are perfect for the typical Aussie family lifestyle. Steve's people are special too. They're family men who know what's important to you in making the best choice. That's why repeat business at Steve Mason Family Cars Mayfield is so high, very high.
A great car at a great price, guaranteed.
8:30 tonight.
I must take you back to Rangoon immediately.
A woman's holiday becomes a quest for freedom.
You can do this!
Starring Patricia Arquette and Academy Award-winning Best Actress Frances McDormand.
You can help us. You know how to fight.
Beyond Rangoon, tonight 8:30 on NBN.
So Manly's poor defensive record of late is again exposed. Walters a 15-metre run to score the first try of the match, and Butterfield comes back for the Knights. Running up with plenty of vigour. And away with Harrigan. Over the 20-metre line. Defensive record, Manly, 17th. Bottom of the league, conceding 22 tries. Newcastle, on the other hand, 11. They wouldn't be too happy with that figure either. And away with Andrew Johns. They're playing some free-flowing football early. On their 40-metre line. The Knights, the Shields. Good tackle from Tuvey. There would be a 1.5 height difference between the two players. Tuvey chased Matthew Johns across field then. Last tackle for Newcastle with Lomax. And now Johns from 40 metres out. And kicking back to the centre, Andrew King has pushed across field. This one's going to pull up. So King has work to do from the in-goal. Craigie gets there, but King just manages to get to the field of play.
Yeah, great effort from Andrew King there. And I think this breeze is actually helping Newcastle's kicking game. It's holding the kicks up and forcing Manly to do some extra work as Frew gets hammered by the big chief.
And already the workload, we see Andrew King do very well to get back into the field of play. Workload against Manly shown with an early interchange. We've got Adam Peters on in jersey 15. He's on for Mackay. Manly throw the ball wide. Good takedown low there from Brendan Reeves.
It's a rush kick in down the line. And for Mark Hughes, but with the wind at your back, you'd want bigger kicks than that during the day. And Hughes almost back to the 40-metre line. That's where they start the set of 6. 8 minutes gone. And Badderas. A big day for Newcastle. Darren Albert returns. Badderas and Fletcher on the bench. We've got Gidley sidelined and O'Davis still to come back from suspension. Shields is out on the left side, looking to cause some problems. Field made the tackle low. And with Craigie. Andrew Johns. Now Matthew playing with a fractured hand. On to Bill Peden. 15 metres out. Pass in front of Albert. Not even his speed could get there to get that one.
Billy Peden upset with himself, but the idea was right. Coming wide. He likes to play wide, Billy Peden, on the fringe of the ruck. Albert had got outside his man. I still think he'd have been taken over the sideline if he'd have caught it. And of course, today, Darren Albert plays only his second top-grade game since scoring that famous try at the end of '97. Played once in 1998, round 17. It's been a frustrating time since that wonderful day in September.
Infield from the scrum, Cliffy's dropped it. An error. 15 metres out in front of the posts.
And the Newcastle fans let him know about it. Just having a look what was going to happen in front of him.
Well, it might take a few minutes for the rust to disappear. Hasn't played for a while.
Let's put some pressure on the veteran. They come the blind with only one player there. Albert using his speed. Darren Albert for the corner. Over the sideline. Touch judge has the flag raised. So on the first tackle, now Manly will have a scrum feed.
Interesting play there from Newcastle. Took a chance on the very first tackle, trying to use Darren Albert's speed. But Andrew Frew was equal to the task.
Well, interesting play, but very poor play, really. Obviously, they've tried to open it up for Albert's speed, but there are three players coming across in cover and never really enough space to work in. There's Torrance. Takes it 12 out centre field into dummy half. Finds Lyons, no problems catching that one.
And away with Brendan Reeves on the right wing for Manly. Newcastle's completion rate, not great early. But they do lead by 6 points to 0 now, Tuvey. On the beaten side last week, he was still outstanding against Auckland. He had a couple of handling errors, but apart from that, a very good game. Now field kicking again from inside the 40, and it's straight down the throat of Mark Hughes, 30 metres out from his own line. So the breeze advantage at Manly's back hasn't been exploited yet. Steve Roach on the sideline.
You know, they're just not dominant in defence, are they, Manly, at the same time as Newcastle are. They've got to really try and intimidate this Newcastle side. Just keep offloading the football at will.
Well, I can't believe that kick from Craig Field. He's put it straight down the throat of Mark Hughes. He's got an enormous breeze behind him. He had plenty of space to work in. If he couldn't get that ball to bounce, there's some major problem with the kicking game when it should be a strength in this first 40 minutes.
Travelled 35 metres maximum as Shields. This time he's attacking the right side of the field. And back with Baderas, then on for Andrew Johns. These offloads, well, it's going to create chances for points with Lomax, 30 metres out. Lyons was the tackler. It's the last for Newcastle. Now Matthew, a flick back for Andrew. He kicks over the top. King's going back to his in goal, an awkward bounce. Now King takes on Craigie this time as he come up short. He has, says Bill Harrigan, line drop out.
Well, you get the feeling that it's going to be a very tough day at the office for Andrew King. There's no doubt, as Paul Gorton pointed out earlier, that the wind so strongly against Newcastle will actually help their kicking game. It will hold the ball up there. You can see King had a lot of trouble finding where the ball was going to land. Couldn't get back in the field of play. And he is going to be bombarded for the next 28 minutes.
Stay behind. So the replay, of course, on the line, he's in goal. As with the attacking side, if they plant the ball on the line, it is a try. And now Newcastle come back with Butterfield. Starts to get those legs pumping. 35 out from the Manly line. Territory advantage very much with Newcastle. Peden spun away from Gartner. Although Gartner's crook, he's going back a little gingerly to the defensive line, but just wasn't there in defence. Inside with Lomax. He offloads for Walters. 20 metres out. Looking to pass. Gartner is on his back with Kosev. And now both Johns brothers are to the left. And it comes away with Andrew. He showed the ball there to Peden and then accepted the tackle of Tuvey. They're 15 metres out. Back with Matthew. He props off the right. Matthew Johns almost through. 8 metres out from the line. Last tackle for Newcastle. And here is Steve Walters, their try scorer. Andrew Johns kicking this time for the wing of Reeves. He's lost it. Newcastle, second try to the ninth. It's really unfolded in a soft manner. Big Peter Shields on the spot. 10-0 to Newcastle.
Last tackle. So many kicking options for the Newcastle side. This time they put the grubber through. It's a bad bounce for the winger. Up into the chest. The big second rower slides through to score. A pretty rare try. Doesn't get that many. Pretty tough bounce there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's been all Newcastle. They've had all the possession. 56 tackles to 18. Manly all the defence to do. And, well, just the rotten bounce. Not much more you can say. But both the Johns boys, once again, playing terrific games. The 7 and the 6 for the Newcastle team. You say it so often. There's Paul Harrigan back from injury. He's done pretty well in the opening stanza.
I really think, Paul, that under Warren Ryan, we've seen Matthew Johns become more dominant. I was always a little bit used to seeing Andrew Johns basically be maybe first receiver 60% to 40%. Now it might have even swung back towards his brother. I think Matthew Johns actually gets the football in his hands probably a little bit more.
And he's running a lot more as well, really taking the defensive line on and able to offload in the traffic. So, well, they're two of the greatest players in the game at the moment. Well, this will test Andrew Johns, this kick.
Well, this one he's taken back 19 metres. Just trying to open the angle a little more. He's wider this time round. 10 in from touch. 10-0 against the Sea Eagles.
And this might sound a little bit ridiculous, but for those people at home watching this game, he may have trouble with the distance here.
Certainly no easing in the strength of the breeze right through the afternoon. So Johns' second attempt of the day. This one, it hasn't got the strength. It's across the face and hasn't reached the goal line. But what a start for the Newcastle Knights in Sunday football. 10-0, 14 gone.
Dowling Real Estate is completely Newcastle owned. Local people looking after local people.
Dowling Real Estate gets results.
Because of Dowling Real Estate, we can sell anything.
At Subway, we believe there's only one way to make a sandwich. Your way. Choose from our fresh-baked white or whole wheat bread, our selection of tasty meats and variety of fresh salads. And we'll make your sandwich just the way you like it. We think you'll agree that your way is the only way. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Here's a home loan breakthrough from the Greater Building Society. Home loans are just 5.25% per annum, capped for 12 months. And now, for a very limited time, you pay no application fee, no valuation fee, no society legal fees. You can save $600. And at the Greater, you pay no account keeping fees. But hurry, offer must end March 31st. Greater Home Loans.
That's the Greater.
Call 13 13 86.
Original Masters is Australia's best value music range with best-selling CDs under $15. Some for a short time only. Over 300 fantastic titles under $15. Original Masters, great value.
Double it.
It's on now. Homemaker Supercentre Tuggerah Super Double Up Giveaway.
Double it.
Spend up to $1,000 and get 5 giveaway chances to win a new Hyundai Elantra sports wagon or a holiday for 4 to wonderful Vanuatu for 7 nights.
Double it.
Spend over $1,000 and double your chances with 10 tickets. Spend over $5,000, we'll double your chance again with 20 tickets.
Double it.
The Super Double Up Giveaway at Homemaker Supercentre Tuggerah.
Double it now.
With Homemaker Supercentre Super Double Up Giveaway.
It's been 5 years since Warners Bay Bricks transformed my home. It's the best thing I've ever done. It looks fantastic. Thanks, Warners Bay Bricks.
Real brick veneer solutions, only from Warners Bay Bricks, Hillsborough Road, Warners Bay.
Looking for a new car? Kelly Holden's got your car. You want to buy a used car? Kelly Holden's got your car. Come on out to Kelly Holden Carter and Gateshead. Kelly Holden, got your car.
Kelly Holden's got your car.
Craigfield, Manly, desperate for competition points, desperate just for points right at the moment. That will help the cause. It has gone dead, so a line drop out here for Newcastle. It only bounced 1.5 metres inside the dead ball line. There were enough Newcastle troops there, but no one willing to take it on the full. Over the head of Hughes, Albert comes into the frame, and so too Glenn Grief. So a line drop out. Andrew Johns, let's watch the distance on this one. It's floated over the 30-metre line. Back with Peters. 25 metres out from the Newcastle line. He comes up with Kosef. He's got the left thigh heavily bandaged. And Tuvey, 20 metres out. Left side again with Peters. He's to the 10-metre line. Tuvey across with Field. Now Cliffy Lyons. He'd like to have Menzies running off him. He's found Andrew King. 7 metres out, a good offload as well. Some promising play from Manly on the Newcastle line. Terry Hill rushing into dummy half. Lyons is at first receiver. There's Cliffy. He's on the spin, turning it inside. The Newcastle defence off their line. Butterfield went low in the tackle. Now the last for Manly. Tuvey away for Field. His kick for the corner looks a little strong. Albert is back, and it goes dead. So Newcastle will have a restart from the 20-metre line.
Yeah, once again, too much weight on that kick from Craig Field, but some promising play, especially from Cliffy Lyons. He threw a couple of good balls there. Adam Peters as well, getting heavily involved in the forward exchanges.
Newcastle on the restart with Grief. Possession. Massive advantage there for Newcastle. The side that will have the advantage of this breeze in the second half. Steve Waters away for Shields. I suppose trying to talk up early the Manly performance. Newcastle did lead Canterbury last week 24-4 and then were nutted. It's a loose pass from Steve Waters, so the turnover. Manly back with it. And Lyons here for Kosef. Inside for Gartner. Almost through. It was a desperate hand in the tackle from Fletcher that pulled him back. With Lyons right up to the defensive line. It's gone through the hands of Hopewadi. His first touch. He wasn't able to hang on, and Newcastle back with it. Manly dropping it after just 3 tackles.
It's just the perfect pass from Lyons. He's lost nothing as far as his skills are concerned. Entitled to catch that one.
And Waters with Matthew Johns, and quick hands on for Shields. Just a short stint on the bench for Shields. Hughes into the line. Gartner coming from behind on Mark Hughes. Shields is causing this Manly defence plenty of problems. Matthew Johns, as the boys spoke of, running a bit more. He ran for 10 that time. And now Walters across with Andrew Johns on the Manly 20-metre line. Badderas taking on the defence, flicking it back there for Albert. Frew is on him. They're 15 metres out. Badderas played plenty of dummy half last year. Andrew Johns is kicking across field. It's for Reeves. Wing. It goes straight in the arms of Craigie, who slams it down. He slams it down for Newcastle's 3rd try. This could be a massacre.
Well, they can do no wrong at the moment. It was a missed kick from Andrew Johns. The wind here playing havoc with the ball in the air. Andrew Johns, he didn't want to be as wide as this. Screws it across, and Owen Craigie sliding between Field and Hill. Goes to ground, no one touching him, so he's got every right to get up and slam the ball down on the line. And yes, it's shaping up as it's done for the last couple of weeks for Manly. They've got to stop this because the momentum is building for the Knights.
Yes, looking fairly grim at this stage.
Might be a board meeting before half-time. You might have to leave us.
We might be playing the board. Randall, Krilich. But really, the boys didn't compete on that occasion, the Manly fellas in the catch. So once again, you come back to that mistake 70 metres downfield, and the defence of Manly has been their Achilles heel all year. 41 points against them each game, and they couldn't hold on that time in 5 to 6 tackles.
And sometimes when we quote those figures, Paul, you know, if we say in 3 games they're averaging 41, there may have been a big victory in there, but that's not been the case for Manly. They've been beaten by 36, 46 and 41. So it is a fair average that we're talking about.
Andrew Johns' 3rd kick. This one from 20 metres in from touch and 16 out. A little more confident about this one, but still, he has to be on target, and he is. Andrew Johns. Fans like it. Why not? 16-0, Steve Roach, 20 gone.
Well, Paul hit it right on the head. You've got to make it a contest. You've got to be desperate to get the football. He's just a little bit more desperate there and gets a try. Just quickly, there's a young kid come on now, that number 17 there, Sean Runner. He's replaced Steve Waters. Watch this kid out of dummy half. He's just got explosive speed, just as good as Waters out of dummy half.
The 20-year-old who hails from Singleton, Sean Runner, played 7 matches last year, made his debut against Penrith in round 17. A deep kick off again from field. They're not going to let it bounce this time, though, Newcastle, and Butterfield running like a teenager, back almost to the 20-metre line. The defence was Wes Doyle For the Manly side, he's out there in 18. Taken high there was Peden. Cunningham was in the tackle. Along with him was Gartner. Gartner and Tuvey leading the tackle count for Manly. They're in double figures. And now through the legs of Rudder. A dummy half. And Field went low on the tackle. And 25 out from their line. Matthew Johns and then Grief stepping. He steps straight past Doyle. Short of the 40-metre line. Last play here for the Knights, Andrew Johns. Plenty of time to kick. Chaser was a little slow getting through. John Hopewadi. King from his own 20-metre line from Manly. 6 chasers there for Newcastle. It is a busy day for the Manly fullback. Having an array of skills to contend with. And now Hill getting involved in the play through the centre. Tony Butterfield going to the dressing room. They appear to be injured. Manly on halfway. And Doyle playing it for Tuvey. Denfield. And across with Torrens, who's picked up in the tackle of Baderis. Such a versatile player, this Newcastle utility. Field kicking. Mark Hughes is back there. It's found him on the first bounce on his own goal line. And Hughes comes back and Field, the kicker, makes the tackle. Harris up for Albert. In a combination of a chronic foot problem last year and then broken ribs in the trials that have kept him sidelined. Now with Rudder. Torrens is there. Defence with Graham Mackay. And now Glenn Grief. Booing, suggesting the Manly defence inside the 10. Good quick play, the ball there from Grief, and Andrew Johns takes off straight away and comes wide for Craigie. One of their 3 try scorers. And 5 tackles, they're 5 short of halfway. Andrew Johns. This time it was Cunningham who was looking to put pressure on the kicker. He's found a gap, Andrew Johns. Andrew King with it from his 20. He was a very consistent player over the last 2 seasons for the Gold Coast. Was rarely out of first grade. But you'd call him safe rather than brilliant, the Manly fullback. And he's through. Field. On with Mackay. Making the move into the forward since joining Manly. Cliffy Lyons. Cutting out a man. Picking up Terry Hill. Wasn't able to pass to Reeves on his outside. Missed tackles. 9-0 to Manly. And that emphasised in the score. It's Cunningham on the switch there from Lyons, running back towards the ruck. Peden and also Jason Moody in defence. Last tackle with Manly. Craig Field cropping with a wind at his back. Hasn't got the kick away. Griff Lyons is there. Billy Harrigan saying get out of the action. It was as if everything came to a halt. He was telling Cliff Lyons to stay out of it.
He's got whiplash, Craig Field. He just got grabbed by the jersey mid-kick. All the Manly players are offside because they were in front of Field, and now Newcastle will get a penalty. Ball finding its way out of the tackle there, 45 out, and another tap taken by Newcastle through Andrew Johns.
With Bill Peden now. All a little comical, but the bottom line is Manly with a breeze at their back have failed to get a kick away, and now they're defending inside their own half, and now another penalty. Newcastle on a roll. They've got 4 penalties. Quick tap for Andrew Johns. They smell blood. They're 5 metres out. And Rudder a dummy half. Matthew Johns on the second tackle. Manly's defence. And they hold out in this set of 6. Rudder for Andrew Johns. They're posing plenty of questions there for Lomax. Lomax out the back for Andrew Johns. Then across. Clinton O'Brien is with it. He's 10 metres out from the line. Turns it inside for Grief. What a ball from O'Brien. Has Grief forced it? To the video referee we go, but it deserved a try, the offload.
What a great pass from Clinton O'Brien. Has he got the ball down? Glenn Grief is a try-scoring machine, the prop. He gets plenty during the year. They're fairly confident. He held it up, O'Brien, round the corner. And, well, no. How long? How long? How long do you give him?
Slow motion, it's hard to work out, isn't it? Let's have a look from this angle. It does take him a long, long time to get it down. I feel as though it will be a green light. No, in fact, he's lost it.
Yeah, he's lost
I take that back. It's definitely a red light.
Should be a no try there. I think Chris Ward, the video ref today.
Yes, from that angle, there's no doubt at all that he loses the football over the line. But that takes nothing away from the quality of Clinton O'Brien's pass. It was superb, and that's why we've seen him play State of Origin.
But he's been in 97. Got knocked out in one of the matches, didn't he?
He did play very well for us that year, and that's the sort of play that got him into the team, and he's found a home now at Newcastle, doing a great job for them.
And on that occasion, let's wrap the Manly defence. The last-ditch Manly defence there. When Cunningham was involved, along with a teammate, they did pretty well to stop Grief from scoring.
Manly hanging in by a thread, really, as Cunningham running almost back to the 40-metre line. 3 there, Cunningham, Manly's best offload of the match, and Gartner now with it. 5 short of halfway. Almost through the legs of the dummy half. Doyle takes off. He ran into the shoulder of O'Brien. He made no attempt to grab the player. And now Tuvey, very slow play the ball. Doyle is down. Lyons, he tries a bomb. Cliff Lyons. Oh boy, it's almost into the stands from Cliffy. Has he been practicing his kicking, Betty?
Bit of rust on those legs too, I feel. Put that oil can out. The wind just got that one.
2 fairways wide, this.
Just over the touchline.
And Fletcher with it for Newcastle. 27 minutes gone. The Chief is back out there. Pushed away from one. It was Scott Fulton that he whacked away. And now O'Brien. Tuvey low as always in the tackle. 14 tackles for Jeff Tuvey in this first half so far. Mark Hughes back in for Craigie, spinning away from one. It was Tuvey who was slow to get back to his feet. Now Harrigan running straight for 10, offloading for Rudder. This is beautiful play from Newcastle. Overhead ball through the hands of Peden. Picked up by Baderis. The defensive line is broken. And Baderis is 20 metres out. Ridden to ground in the tackle of Hopewadi. And now Rudder. Matthew Johns, last play here for Newcastle. Andrew Johns' kick was stopped by the legs of Lyons. And Manly have covered up. Scott Fulton back there. And another close call for the Sea Eagles. 16-0. Cannot afford to slip any further behind before half-time. And with full blindside play here for Peters to run.
And Andrew, if Jeff Tuvey does miss a tackle or two today, I'll forgive him, because I wouldn't be surprised if he sets a club record for the amount of defence this afternoon. It's a good offload from Tierney. Finds the man I'm talking about. He has dead set tackled anything that has moved out there in the opening 25 minutes.
Cunningham away for Lyons, kicking this time, trying to send Reeves on a chase. Hughes has fielded it 15 out from his own goal line. They've tried a selection of kicks, Manly. I couldn't really say any have been terribly effective. And now Moody back for Craigie. Hill came through and bowled Moody over after he passed. Explained the jeers of the crowd. And so as you can see, short of their 30 with Clinton O'Brien. And now Rudder, he takes off. Kosef, who moved away from marker. Rudder helps himself to 15 metres. And Harrigan for Matthew Johns. King was hurt in the previous tackle. Now Andrew Johns. He passes selectively for Albert. Clopping back infield on that right wing. Last tackle with the Knights. Johns is a dummy half, so Matthews the man who'll call the shots. Then back for Andrew Johns. Shades of 97. Baderis kicks back infield. It's coming down for King, who dives forward to take. Quite spectacular Reeves, in fact, in the finish. King has gone out to the wing.
And Manly get their first penalty. That was some good play from Brendan Reeves, because he'd been playing wing, and when he saw Andrew King go down injured, he dropped back to full back and covered up nicely for the Eagles. Andrew King back on his feet now. Talking to former Manly player Peter Cullum. He's the trainer.
He's not coming back, is he?
Wait till next week. Could be.
It's funny how things turn out. Last week, Newcastle were caned in the penalties against Canterbury. I think it was 8-0 at one stage, and yet today, they're close to the perfect side for 30 minutes. So a big reversal from them in the eyes of the referee. Tierney tackled short of the 30-metre line. And Fulton making 6 metres, and Shields it was over the top. Peden low. Nearly under assault. Now with Torrens. Goes back to halfway. Torrens was a little stung in the tackle as well. Peters He was hoping to find a runner. There was none there. And now Fulton with Cliff Lyons. He's going to send them on the chase down the right wing. Hill and Reeves coming through. Hughes is back. He's fumbled. Mark Hughes back in possession. It was off the leg. So play on for Newcastle. It's as close as they've come today now. Another penalty to the Knights. And Manly just helping Newcastle out of trouble.
Well, Brendan Reeves, he was a mile offside and decided to put his hand on the running player. Cliff Lyons is disagreeing. I'm not sure whether with that decision. I think he might think that Mark Hughes knocked on from the kick. Let's see whether there was any hand involved. Well, if there was, he pushed it back anyway onto the leg, and that was definitely play on.
Here's Harrigan attracting three defenders, the Chief. And Steve Alders back out there with Lyons going high. Steve Alders, until the return of Lyons, was the third oldest player in the NRL. He's now the fourth oldest. Lyons, Alexander and Langmack ahead of him. Newcastle get their sixth penalty of the afternoon. And it comes up. Manly was offside again. Advantage played here. High ball for Albert. He'll take on through. Goes to the sideline. He goes to ground. 25 out. Plenty of quick taps from Newcastle today. Not prepared to risk a kick for the line. Kicking into the breeze. Shields. He's around 6'7", 6'8". He comes away with Rudder. Headed back infield. There may have been a Manly hand in there. Newcastle is still in possession with Hughes. Harrigan was waiting for assistance from his touch judge. And now he gets a very late call.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that the call has come. He waited and waited to see if the touchy was going to say something. I didn't think there was a knock on, but we are a long way away from here.
8 out from half-time, 16-0 to the Knights.
You won't believe your eyes when you come and see the famous rows and rows at Cardiff Toyota. There's rows and rows of new Toyotas, new Subarus, new Kias, and of course rows and rows of quality used vehicles. And with a huge range like this, you're sure to find the vehicle you need at the price you want. Cardiff Toyota has been serving Newcastle, Lake Macquarie and the Hunter for over 20 years. So come and take a walk down the famous rows and rows at Cardiff Toyota.
Need to fix the car? Well, at Kmart Tyre and Auto, you get professional service and attention backed by a nationwide guarantee. All while you do the shopping. So for convenient, complete car care, Kmart Tyre and Auto Service, it's just what you need.
Just 30 minutes from Newcastle and 20 minutes from beautiful Port Stephens waits the opportunity of a lifetime. Riverview Ridge Estate. Nestled near the thriving shopping centre of Raymond Terrace, Riverview Ridge offers the relaxed atmosphere of semi-rural living with all the benefits of the city and a host of recreational activity. Large, easy-to-build-on blocks are available for the private buyer or developer. Call the Dowling office at Raymond Terrace and ask about Riverview Ridge. Another quality Ardell development.
First, it was the Pirates, then Mikado and Pinafore. Now John English and the Pirates gang have conquered ancient Rome. And a funny thing happened on the way to the Forum, and Australia loves it.
It was great.
Excellent, excellent.
Great fun. Recommend it to you. Brilliant. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Ripper.
If you loved Pirates, don't miss Simon Gallagher's hilarious production of Forum, the show that's got Australia laughing, at the Civic Theatre from April 14 for a strictly limited 10-day season. Book now at Ticketek.
Queensland's hottest show bag comes to Harvey Norman Sydney. Over $200 worth of value for just $15. And only available from a Harvey Norman store. Not available at the show. You get a Sony PlayStation cap, your choice of an MYOB, Dataflow or Turok 2 t-shirt, 3 children's books from Scholastic, a compact yo-yo, Super Disc water bottle, a Semantic New York 2000 mug and much more. All this for just $15. What a mega bargain. What a mega bag. Queensland's hottest show bag comes to a Harvey Norman store near you. Make sure you get yours.
Okay, get funky with the all-time greatest funky album. We got Eternal. 31 groovy tracks with funky shit. Wild Cherry. The all-time greatest funky album. It's going off.
Becoming number one doesn't happen overnight. And to be truly number one means you just can't be a flash in the pan. That's why Cardiff Toyota is your genuine number one dealership.
It can't be better, number one.
Sunday football coming to you from Marathon Stadium. It's round 4 clash between the Knights and a desperate Manly. And Newcastle with 3 tries. Jeff Tuvey, contentious decision before the break.
Oh, he might have gone despite the fact he was passing it back. Making apology to the touch judge there as Manly get a rare penalty. They've copped it, not just on the scoreboard, but also in the penalty department.
And here's Peters. Just with the strength of this breeze, the number of times Manly has been inside Newcastle's half, there hasn't been many occasions at all. And Tierney getting another offload. A good one for Cunningham. 2 front rowers combining. Cunningham in turn back for Tierney. Then Lyons. Hopewadi is there. Here is Hopewadi. He's headed across field. And claimed by Clinton O'Brien. That's almost 3-to-1 the ratio of time in opposition half as Tierney taking on the defence. He's had his injury problems as well. The knee reconstruction last year. Now Kosef, 30 metres out from the line for Frew. Albert swings him to ground in the tackle, but Manly creeping a little closer. 25 metres out. Torrens with Tuvey. Then Lyons. Cunningham on his outside. Lyons with a dummy. Almost through the tackle. On the inside to King. 5 metres out. King gets the pass. And Walters has claimed it for the Knights. But a little bit of Cliffy magic.
Yeah, some great stuff there from Cliff Lyons. Gummy went through, supported back on the inside, but then no patience shown at all by Andrew King. Just had to control the ball and go again. Wasn't the 5th tackle.
Andrew Johns wide here for Craigie. He got away from Lyons and also Hill. So play continues for Rudder. The offload count would be enormous for Newcastle in this first half. Walters on the previous play hobbled to get to dummy half. He's still out there. And now Matthew Johns. Last tackle for Newcastle. Andrew Johns, 40 metres out from his own line, kicking. He's got it over the head of King. Big result for Newcastle, kicking into the breeze. Through from his own 20-metre line. Across field he goes. Butterfield is first chaser there with Grief, the 2 front rowers.
You talk about the ball movement of Newcastle, Andrew, and their offloading. Any of those people who said that Warren Ryan would come and shackle this football team, well, they've been shown that that was absolutely never going to be the case. They keep the football alive. They're, I think, probably the most exciting team to watch in the competition for the very fact they are always looking to offload the football and keep it alive.
Back to halfway. Tierney is trying to pass. They weren't able to get him to ground. Walters and Andrew Johns had a real battle going on. Now Cliff Lyons with a show of the ball. King is his designated runner. That time tackled last with Kosef. Chance down this blind side to run on the last tackle. Torrens offloads there for Frew. Frew is claimed by Albert. Last tackle changeover. Newcastle in possession. They will play it on their own 40-metre line.
Not at a scrum.
With Glenn Grief. Very close to scoring Newcastle's 4th try.
Been a pretty good battle on this wing, hasn't it? Albert and Andrew Frew. Obviously part of the game plan for Newcastle was to attack Frew's wing through the speed of Darren Albert, but he's done a pretty good job up against the more experienced rival. Well, this penalty count is becoming a real problem for Manly, and so many of them are for inside the 10. And Jeff Tuvey now about to be spoken to by Bill Harrigan.
Jeff, I'm doing my best. I'm calling you. Come back to me, Terry. You just stand out offside me, you wave to me, but you don't come back. That wasn't just you, it was the whole back line, but I want you to come back. Make the effort, all right? If they go the other way, I can allow it go, but mate, when they're coming your way, you've got to get back. Bottom line, bins next time. I watch markers, I'll do everything. I'm doing everything for you, Jeff. I'm working hard on it.
Terry Hill cops the caution. So Newcastle decide on another tap. And Butterfield running back to the 30-metre line. Time before half-time to come up with another 4-pointer. And Glenn Grief is 25 out. Called to play it. Steve Walters, then Butterfield. He's 15 out in the Peters tackle. Over the top was Kosef. Steve Walters, just for a moment from dummy half, took a little step and then back for Grief. Some sloppy play from Newcastle. They lose 5 on the play. And Walters. Matthew Johns, step off the right. Just away from Cunningham. Kosef and Gartner in there as well. Andrew Johns, 15 metres out. Here comes the high ball for the wing. It's holding up in the breeze, and back it comes for Andrew Johns. Plenty of Manly defenders there. Andrew Johns has pushed back to the field of play.
Well, I think it'll be 6 again for Newcastle. Oh, well, that's not.
A bit of luck there, because I thought it came off Andrew King, the fullback, when he went up, and Andrew Johns got it back. So let off for the Eagles. See if we're right here. Oh, no, it got knocked back by Craigie. So Bill Harrigan, the right decision, along with his touch judges.
So here's Tuvey and Terry Hill.
Manly in trouble for their offside today. That is a massive tip. Hang on, that is 13 metres he wants him back. 13 metres there. No wonder they're offside. They're on the 10. He's back 13.
It's a good call, Paul, and in the meantime, Manly have made a handling error with Terry Hill, who's hardly a favourite of the Newcastle fans. Fletcher is in the tackle.
Yeah, Terry might have been penalised here for trying to milk a penalty himself. It looked like he was in that World Championship wrestling, you know, where they try and pin them.
And here's Medeiros for Albert. For whatever reason, he's having a bit of a battle with Jason Moody. Terry Hill, that is. An old score there. And Peden has lifted in the tackle. They put him down gently. And thankfully so, because there could have been trouble there for Nick Kosef. He was low in the tackle. Rudder, 10 metres out. Newcastle, this is where they've been for much of the first half. 3 tries and a 16-0 scoreline. Steve Walters, wide ball from dummy half. Andrew John switches back from Matthew, keeping the defence guessing. Albert doesn't get the ball on the bounce. They're just getting a little untidy, the Knights.
Yes, if anything, they maybe should be looking to keep things a little bit tighter. They certainly ask plenty of questions of the defence as they come up against. Constant switchings of play. Every now and then, I suppose they can be forgiven because they do pass the football so much that a couple go to ground and don't find the mark. Cliff Lyons finds Craig Field with the run around, and Albert Torrens is pounded.
It's worth noting Newcastle haven't scored since the 19th minute. That's when the third try came to Owen Craigie. They've gone close since. But somewhere along the line, you've got to give some credit to Manly for hanging on. And here is Peters spinning in the tackle on the 30-metre line. Craig Field, a dummy half, hasn't had many chances to run with the football. Tuvey and Lyons combining, away for Torrens. Torrens turns side on in the tackle of Medeiros. Half-time siren has sounded. Ends 40 minutes. And Newcastle, chasing a second win for the season and a second win over Manly, are certainly on target to do it. Here at Marathon Stadium, it's the Knights 16, the Sea Eagles 0. And we'll be back after the break with all the second half action here on Channel 9.
There's a time to obey.
We do things around here my way. You understand that, boy? Kim was a racist redneck. Thought you knew.
And then there's a time...
I'll get you in the end zone.
...to cut loose.
Woo! You don't always have to do the right thing.
Let's roll!
Can I have your autograph? Right here? I'm the third in football.
James Vanderbeek, Varsity Blues.
Thanks, Max.
Starts this Thursday at cinemas everywhere.
If you're about to buy a used car, the next 60 seconds could save you thousands. Because you always get a better deal at Closter Ford. Closter Ford gives you a better range with hundreds of excellent used cars to choose from. Everything from family sedans and wagons to four-wheel drives and hatches. There's a used car for everyone at Closter's. Closter Ford gives you better value for money because every one of our hand-picked used cars is the best of its kind and priced with you in mind. There's a used car for every budget at Closter's. Closter Ford gives you better protection with our exclusive 3-year up to 175,000 kilometre warranty on every used car. That's guaranteed peace of mind from Closter's. And Closter Ford gives you better after-sale care from our state-of-the-art service centre, including the convenience of an exclusive overnight service. So for better choice, value, warranty and service, make sure you see Closter Ford, Tudor Street, Hamilton, where you always get a better deal.
Ultipack, incredible inflatable removable roof racks. No bolts, no screws, just fit and clip in minutes. Fit all cars, four-wheel drives, carry your ski, surfboard, ladder up to 80 kilos. $99 and a free pump. Ultipack Katara. Call 49561 666 now.
Fantastic Furniture declares war on prices. Solid timber 6-drawer tall boy, 2 matching bedsides, sensational value at $3.99. That's a $150 saving at Fantastic Furniture. Take home today, no delay. This is war.
Have you ever seen a dinosaur the size of a mouse? Or one as big as a house? With teeth and claws and very small paws. And a tail as big as a whale. You can see them at the museum. So come in and browse, and don't be scared by the growls. The ghosts of the Russian dinosaurs at the Newcastle Regional Museum. Open every day during the school holidays, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Wolf Tools present the award winners. Voted European Mower of the Year. The Scooter, ideal for small acreage, yet fits easily through gates. Key Start, self-propelled, easy dump catcher, German quality. It's a new concept in mowing. And the Wolf Cart, winner of the 1998 Australian Pace Award. Use it as a catcher mower or a mulching mower. And it's here now. Together, the Wolf Scooter and Cart are award winners. Wolf lawn equipment available from Pride Mowers, Wyong and Gosford.
Welcome back. Sunday football, a breezy autumn afternoon in Newcastle. And the home side in front at half-time by 16 points to 0. Newcastle with 2 competition points. Manly 0 and 3. The day Cliff Lyons returned, he had some good moments and some bad in that first 40 minutes. But he was there to create scoring chances. He did that a couple of times, but that top line there, no points as yet for Manly.
It's a mountain of time in possession for the home team, isn't it? 16 from 25, not particularly good completion rate. 10 from 17 for Manly. Line breaks, surprisingly, just 2-1. The missed tackles hurt Manly early in this game, 19. And for Newcastle, just 3 in that first 40 minutes. But we should point out that Manly have had to make 45 more tackles, more than their opposition, in the first half.
Just on those stats, Manly's entitled to be 30 behind rather than 16. They've done OK. Tony Butterfield's having a strong game for the Newcastle side. 11 tackles, 9 hit-ups, and Billy Peden hunting out wide these days, but having a good game as well. And for the Eagles, well, look at those 3 boys up the top there. Mountain of work. Kossoff, Cunningham, Tuvey, Gartner. That's where all the work has been done, and that's where Newcastle are concentrating most of their play.
It's round 4 battle. Smile on Harrigan's face to start the second half. We'll be watching what distance he keeps the defending sides back in this second 40 minutes. 16-0 to the Newcastle Knights over Manly. Another point of interest, Manly, in the first half of last year, their form was very dusty, but they never lost more than 3 in a row. And we have to go back, well, over a decade to find the last time they lost 4 in a row in the competition. They're staring down the barrel today. Steve Walters. I'm sure Warren Ryan at half-time had a little reminder for Newcastle that last week they clocked off a little. They led 24-4 against Canterbury. Go on with the job today. We'll hear from Blocker in just a moment. Here's Shields, short of the 40-metre line. And Walters. Back with Andrew Johns kicking. First use of the breeze for Andrew Johns. And look at this kick from inside the 40. Finding touch 10 metres out from the line. And Newcastle should have the feed.
Oh, what a lovely kick there from Andrew Johns. He had plenty of time to kick it. And he struck it magnificently. Just a little tap. And this Gale did the rest of the job for him. And a wonderful place to be attacking from early in this second half.
So 12 metres out from the line. Newcastle have 2 on the blind side. Craigie and Moody are there. They come to the open side with Matthew Johns. Hughes was a decoy. And Medeiros cops the tackle. A good one from Cliff Lyons. 15 metres out from the line. Mark Hughes up with Butterfield. He broke from the scrum on the left side of the field. A pass inside has been taken by Cliff Lyons. So Manly back in possession.
Timely interception there from Cliff Lyons. And you've got to say, apart from one kick out on the full in the first half and a drop ball from a scrum win, I think Lyons has done very, very well. He's actually given some spark to this Manly side in attack. Struggled for that a little bit as Gartner nearly slid through, but Lyons has done a good job so far in this game.
Brendan Reeves, he ducked into the tackle on the 40-metre line, collected Steve Walters on the way through. Comes back. It's the last tackle. Field kicks high. It bounces in front of Mark Hughes. An awkward one. Field coming through, and Hughes has gathered it in, but a knock on. There'll be a Manly scrum feed. We'll hear what the coach has said at half-time. Steve Roach.
Yeah, just down on the sideline with Newcastle centre Matt Gidley. He's injured at the moment. What was said at half-time, Warren Ryan would have been pretty happy.
Yeah, the boys had a pretty good start at the first half. Obviously 16-0, he's very happy. But I just think he wants the boys to keep attacking and not just try and defend the lead like we did last week.
Yeah, what about you yourself? Will you be back next week? There is some talk of that.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm pretty happy with the way it's going. It's going really well, so fingers crossed next week.
Anything mentioned at half-time about the comeback?
Well, hang on, Stephen, because Cliffy Lyons has put it up on a plate for Andrew King. King filling the role today of Stephen Menzies. We'll get Matt Gidley to stand by with blocker, but Cliffy Lyons has done the job for Manly.
Beautiful try here from Manly. We talk about some of the moves they put on from scrum wins, and this is another great one. Cliff Lyons gets the football. They run decoys. As we freeze it there, you can see that these two players here have actually crossed over. This is the man that they're trying to set it up for, and the defenders in front, as play continues, are put in two minds, slides through, brushes through the tackle of Jason Moody. But very, very good play from Manly there. A minimum of complication about it, but it all unfolded beautifully. Just the two decoy players crossing over, opened it up for the man behind.
All came down to the timing of the pass by Cliff Lyons. And that's why he's back. They needed someone to throw those type of passes to score some points. And I must say, a good chase there from Tony Butterfield from the scrum.
Field successful with a conversion. So Manly, they're back in it at 16-6, and we go downstairs to blocker again.
Well, I must say that Bobby Fulton was pretty confident if they got 50 or 60% of the ball, they could put something on. That's a great pass there from Lyons. King scores the try. I'll just go back to Matthew Gidley quickly. Did the coach mention the sides coming back at Newcastle in the second halves in the half-time speech?
Yeah, he did. He touched on last week, but I think he just wants to keep attacking, and I think he wants to try and keep the other side to as low a score as we can.
Matthew, I hope you're back next week, and thanks for your time on the sideline.
No worries, mate.
I'll just go into Manly quickly. As he said, Bobby Fulton, if they can get 60% of the ball, he thinks that they can score tries. He wants to see his side compete. He said there was a lack of competitive edge there in the first half. If they can do that, they can get back into this game. Should be a good second half if Manly can compete.
So thanks to Matt Gidley, good talent. Comes back next week. He gets himself in contention for representative matches down the track. Centre position, very open. And here's Tierney for Manly. Up to halfway and back in for Lyons. Here they go, Manly. Lyons passing, and Torrens is away from Manly, and Albert comes from behind. 10 metres out from the line. The Seagulls, their second win with Lyons away for Field. Newcastle is rattled. Field decides to hang on to the ball. Then Cliff Lyons, here it is, an open passage to the line. Terry scores. Hill scores for Manly. And in the space of 5 minutes, the Eagles are back. Look at Fatty, he's doing a dance.
Well, I don't know what Bob Fulton said at the half-time break, but it's had the desired effect. This set up the try. Beautiful work on the blind side. Neil Tierney, he's worked hard all day. Offloaded to Cliff Lyons. You thought that they had to score here through Torrens, but Albert came from nowhere. And I must say, on this next movement, I thought Craig Field had butchered a try here by going back in field. He's got the ball now. He goes back in field, finds Cliff Lyons, and as we freeze it there, you can see that these are the widest Newcastle players. We've got 3 Manly players as play continues who could have scored the try. Good vision from Cliff Lyons.
Yeah, put it down to Neil Tierney. When he offloaded, that was his second hit up in a matter of 3 tackles. He has played very well today. Craig Field might have done the wrong thing by stepping back inside, but in doing that, he found Cliff Lyons and the master. He knew where to go. He knew where the spaces were. A nice, easy trot to the line for Tezza.
And a big put down from Terry. Scored that first try at Stadium Australia against the Knights. Now Field with his kick, 21 metres out. He will struggle to get the distance, taking it back that far. Into this breeze. Field's kick is going to go well across the face and land on the 10-metre line. So here at the Marathon Stadium, 6-point margin, 16-10.
Did you make the bread yourself?
Nah, mate. I spread it with butter.
Butter brings out the natural taste in food because butter is natural.
How about some eggs?
How about some more toast? Butter. Taste the difference.
Have a happy Easter with fresh seafood from Anchors. Forget the queues. Order now and we'll have it ready for you. For quality fresh seafood this Easter, ring Anchors and order now. Anchors Seafood, open every day this Easter.
Have you ever seen a dinosaur the size of a mouse? Or one as big as a house? With teeth and claws and very small paws. And a tail as big as a whale. You can see them at the museum. So come in and browse, and don't be scared by the growls. The ghosts of the Russian dinosaurs at the Newcastle Regional Museum. Open every day during the school holidays, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Made for Australia by Australians. Plug-in Pest Free has set the standard in safe, responsible pest control, contributing to a cleaner environment. Protect your home from cockroaches and rodents without hazardous chemicals. Just plug in, switch on and forget.
Join the many thousands of satisfied customers who now rely on Pest Free to protect their home and family. It makes good sense.
Plug in Pest Free. Phone 1800 678 005 now.
It's Mr. Sports Footy Sale, so come and tackle a deal. Buy any senior footy boots and get a sports bag, socks, Nike cap and football free. Buy selected junior footy boots and get a football and sports bag free. Huge footy savings at Mr. Sports, 440 High Street, Maitland and William Street, Raymond Terrace.
Dowling Real Estate is completely Newcastle owned. Local people looking after local people.
Dowling Real Estate gets results.
Because of Dowling Real Estate, we can sell anything.
$20,000 cash. Collect Herald Auction dollars and you could pick up $20,000 cash. Plus, each week readers can bid for $20,000 worth of prizes from Bing Lee. Details in tomorrow's Newcastle Herald. Grab yours and know what's happening.
Looking for a new car?
Kelly Holden's got your car. You want to buy a used car? Kelly Holden's got your car. Come on out to Kelly Holden Carter and Gateshead. Kelly Holden, got your car.
Kelly Holden's got your car.
How quickly a game can turn. Andrew Johns kicks off for Newcastle. 16-0 at half-time, 16-10, and now Mackay, when Manly's on a roll, is knocked on in goal. Graham Mackay.
Well, the Manly players are claiming that Graham didn't get the hand to it, saying it came off the boot, but I think there's a finger or two involved.
They're certainly in the vicinity. And from a touch judge's view and referee's view, I guess they're a good 20 metres away. They ruled in favour of the Newcastle side. Manly, they must keep Newcastle out of this set of 6. They've got the momentum happening. And that line drop out finds Moody on the left wing for the Knights. 21 metres out. Craigie in a dummy half. Lomax steadies for a run, and here he comes. Lomax changes his angle as he gets to the defence. Tuvey was the tackler. It comes up for Harrigan. He's lost it. Newcastle, second time they've fumbled on the second tackle in this second half. A lot of seconds. Tuvey over the 20-metre line and then crawls another 5 metres, the captain. Here's the drop ball of Paul Harrigan. Plenty of venom in the run. Unable to handle, though. Field, another chance on the left presenting itself as King almost around the outside of Baderis. They're 35 out from their own line. It comes through Frew and then Field. A short pass there for Gartner. They're meeting the sandwich there with Harrigan and Walters.
That should have been a Manly penalty there. Paul Harrigan pushed the man back down. Manly come wide through Terry Hill. Very fortunate not to be penalised there, the Chief.
So too, I'm watching Harrigan. He's got Newcastle back probably 11 metres. On the previous tackle, this time about 9 or 10. Field kicking from halfway. Again, it's hanging up in the breeze. I'm not sure whether the chasers are onside. They've certainly scattered, though. And Manly restarting of the tackle count. 30 metres out from the Newcastle line. We might be all levelled up in just a moment. Cossack stepping through the Craigie tackle. Then loses the ball. It's on the deck. And able to get to it was Terry Hill. So it's play on for Manly. Popawati, infield for Field. Then Kosef is taken high by Harrigan. The Chief was going to be called out here. He's collected him high. And the crowd has gone silent.
Well, what do you think, Paul?
You got Newcastle.
2 points
Well, it looks like a sitter. They're on a bit of a roll, though. Yeah, they're going to put it out. Jeff Turvey, could be a smart decision. Actually, the quick tap taken through Cunningham.
The dummy thrown. He pointed to the sideline, but obviously he told Harrigan we're going to take the tap. Gamesmanship, and there's the pass from Lyons. The passage was there for King.
Oh, there was a great chance there. Clip Lyons. This could be a very good decision to bring him back, no doubt about it. And Clippy was always keen. He holds it up, and there's a hole there. Watch it open for Andrew King. And he was virtually through it. Could have scored a try.
This is a whole new world for Andrew King, isn't it? I mean, it's just opened up the running game for him, running off Cliffy.
Well, it's a whole new world for the Manly side as well, because so far this year, this is the 4th game they played. In the first 3 games, they were never in a winning position, apart from when they ran out to kick off. And, I mean, with, what, half an hour to go, they're 6 behind, and they're playing all right.
And also in the first 3 games, they'd only scored 9 points on average, and that's not enough to win against, well, really any opposition in this competition.
Shields was hurt in that previous tackle. And Newcastle under pressure here coming out from inside their 30. They've used up 5 tackles. Shields is still down. Bit of harassment on the kicker. Tuvey came through on Andrew Johns. They get one away, but it's down the centre. Good bounce as far as Newcastle is concerned. Reeves almost back to his own goal line. Here he goes, the former Steeler. A dummy to Andrew King. And Baderas claims him in the tackle with Butterfield. Here's Andrew through. One past Fletcher. I'm sure he's the fastest man at the club, Andrew Frew. Speedster from the Eels, now Field, attacking the blind side. They're 15 metres short of halfway, and now the offloads are happening for Manly. Well, this is what Newcastle was doing in the first half with Lyons. A dummy to Hill, then picking up Reeves. They're on the 30-metre line, and Andrew Johns a good tackle. Lyons left behind for Manly. And now Cunningham. He bounced away from Grief. Another one of the veterans in this Manly side, Owen Cunningham. Kosef, inside ball to Gartner. The defence read it well. Peden was waiting and made the tackle. It's the last here for Manly. Tuvey across with Field. He'll kick. In the centre of the field, Hughes fielding it on his 20. And Mark Hughes is headed cross-country. Field is chasing him. He links up with Albert. It was telegraphed. He's away from Field. Now there's trouble. Albert is over the 40-metre line. The speedster. King makes the tackle. And welcome back, Darren Albert. There's Matthew Johns, 40 metres from the Manly line with Andrew, his brother. Then for Grief, he's flat-footed. Push it along to the right. They may have had an overlap there. Tuvey again is the tackler for Manly. 24 tackles, top of the count, Jeff Tuvey. Fletcher. Claimed by Gartner. 29 metres out centre field. Walters, they've got a roll on now, Newcastle. Inside for Johns, then for Matthew. He is 20 metres out. Peden hurdles the legs of Kosef. Now he comes back in field, Billy Peden. He was taken to ground by Hopewati. They're 11 out. And attacking. Rudder. Andrew Johns. A chance to run for Andrew Johns. He's almost there for Newcastle. Last tackle now. Matthew Johns is to the left side of the ruck. Here it comes for Matthew. Here comes the kick, and beautiful play from Kosef.
Yeah, great take from Kosef, and a wonderful tackle from Andrew King the play before to stop Johns from scoring.
You'd call that an intercept. Just about the claim by Kosef on the Johns kick. Certainly as good as. Here's the tackle of King.
If I were the Knights, I'd be looking for 1 point next time they do get down there. I think they just need to get 7 in front to, in their own mind, to know the opposition need to score twice, just to steady the ship. Oh, stepping there from Hopewati.
Reminder, they led Canterbury last week. 24 points to 4. That was at the 51st minute. They were beaten 28-26. Now Manly get a penalty. There haven't been many for the afternoon. Only their 4th, and the quick tap this time from Field. And Gartner passing a hand in there from Andrew Johns. Then it came off a Manly player. He'll rule the knock on first, you would think, against Newcastle. He has.
Yeah, Andrew Johns has called for the football. He's claimed it, but the first infringement will be Andrew Johns' hand, no matter what happened after that.
Some very big news, fellas, at this point. The footy show bags are sold out. Just received word from the Easter show. We advertised them on Thursday night's show. They've been sold out. Unbelievable 20 bags could go so quick, but they have. So there'll be a few disappointed punters heading out to the show this week. And there's Tuvey away for Kosef, inside for Hill, 35 metres out. Tuvey, they're looking sharp now, the Seagulls. Field and Lyons calling the tune, then back inside for Hopewadi, 25 out. That was a good tackle from Butterfield. And Cunningham, a terrible pass from dummy half. Tierney had overrun it, and then they've lost it. Fletcher comes up with it. Harrigan says play on off the leg. Not sure whose, but Newcastle are with it. And now Grief. Almost to the 40. That was the pass of Cunningham. Oh, it's not off the leg of Fletcher. No way on that replay. Rudder. Away from Lyons. Inside Manly's half. An eventful 15 minutes to start this second half, with Manly coming up with 2 tries. Bill Peden gets that quick play the ball. Walters was attacked by the man who really wasn't at marker, Kosef.
Never include the ruck, Nick.
Newcastle with Johns finding the line 20 metres out. They need some breathing space, Newcastle. They need points.
They need patience as well. They don't score in the 6, either take the field goal or get into the in-goal area, but or score a try with Ben Grief under the posts.
Johns to Grief. Andrew Johns, the number 7. Too strong. Just too strong for the defence, and Grief was denied a try in the first half, but not this time.
Well, it's been a while between points for Newcastle. They were scoring 1 a minute early in the game, and then the big step from Andrew Johns bamboozled Terry Hill. Tierney tried to hold on. King couldn't dive across and stop Glenn Grief. Beautiful work again from the number 7. And all of a sudden things are just a little bit better for Newcastle when the opposition were really coming at them hard.
It's a great battle looming for the, well, I suppose for the test jumper, the number 7, and also the New South Wales State of Origin number 7 between Andrew Johns and Brett Kamali. Of course, throw Alan Langer in for the test spot. Johns is playing in great form, and good effort by the big number 10 there in support play. It's one of the hardest things in the game, is just to make the effort to support someone, because 9 times out of 10 you might not get the football. On that occasion, Glenn Grief got the ball, got the try.
Andrew Johns, one of many form number 7s. And he's mentioned the players in contention for the test job, but Kamali and Trindle's form this year has been outstanding. James for the Auckland Warriors has been great. The playmakers are having a field day. 22-10 in Sunday football here.
Becoming number 1 doesn't happen overnight. And to be truly number 1 means you just can't be a flash in the pan. That's why Carter Toyota is your genuine number 1 dealership. That's number 1 for new vehicles, Toyota, Subaru and Kia, and number 1 for quality used cars. Cardiff Toyota has been serving Newcastle, Lake Macquarie and the Hunter for over 20 years with number 1 sales, service and range.
And you can't do better than number 1.
Break through to the new world of Mach 3 from Gillette, the first triple-blade shaving system. 3 blades specially positioned to shave progressively closer. You take 1 stroke, it takes 3, so you don't have to shave the same area over and over, which means less irritation. 3 blades, fewer strokes, less irritation. Mach 3 from Gillette.
Help us celebrate the arrival of our new chef in Broadmeadow with a sumptuous seafood buffet. Prawns, oysters, seafood basket and grilled fish of the day. All for just $19.95. You'll love it all.
Love where you live, but want to update your existing home? Here's great news. Real Brick Veneer offers the ultimate solution. With no maintenance and greatly improved acoustic and thermal insulation, Kiwi bricks are perfect for upgrading your fibro or weatherboard home.
It's been 5 years since Warners Bay Bricks transformed my home. It's the best thing I've ever done. It looks fantastic. Thanks, Warners Bay Bricks.
Real Brick Veneer solutions, only from Warners Bay Bricks, Hillsborough Road, Warners Bay.
Wolf Tools present the award winners. Voted European Mower of the Year. The Scooter, ideal for small acreage, yet fits easily through gates. Key Start, self-propelled, easy dump catcher, German quality. It's a new concept in mowing. And the Wolf Cart, winner of the 1998 Australian Pace Award. Use it as a catcher mower or a mulching mower. And it's here now. Together, the Wolf Scooter and Cart are award winners. Wolf lawn equipment available from Pride Mowers, Wyong and Gosford.
Made for Australia by Australians. Plug-in Pest Free has set the standard in safe, responsible pest control, contributing to a cleaner environment. Protect your home from cockroaches and rodents without hazardous chemicals. Just plug in, switch on and forget.
Join the many thousands of satisfied customers who now rely on Pest Free to protect their home and family. It makes good sense.
Plug in Pest Free. Phone 1800 678 005 now.
You're sure to find the vehicle you need at the price you want. Cardiff Toyota has been serving Newcastle, Lake Macquarie and the Hunter for over 20 years. So come and take a walk down the famous rows and rows at Cardiff Toyota.
12 points the difference here at Marathon Stadium. And field gets play back underway. Now I guess that field goal becomes an attractive option, even more so for Newcastle. They're 25 out from their own line. And Walters for Lomax. A player who has seen all parts of the world in finding a home in rugby league, Paris and Perth. Now Newcastle, they've made another error. Gee, they've really been their own worst enemies, Newcastle, in the second half.
An unforgivable error here from Steve Walters. He's too experienced to throw that pass. All the teams these days play very flat, and the emphasis is on the dummy half to decide whether the pass should be thrown or not. On that occasion, Walters he threw it half a metre forward.
Field from the scrum win. 3 times they've dropped it before, made an error before the third tackle in the second half, Newcastle. Doyle is back on in 18 for Manly. Here is Kosef. Thrown over in the tackle of Rudder on the Newcastle 20. They're down by 12 for Sea Eagles. Here's Cunningham. Backs into the defence of Butterfield. And now Fulton. The left with Craig Field. Harrigan with plenty of instructions out there for Torrens. He's 3 metres short of the try line. Hughes was there in defence for Newcastle. And Manly. Hill has got his arm up right out in the centres. And Field tries the short kick. He'll look for the repeat set. He was taken out of the play. Hughes is trapped in goal. Line drop out here for Newcastle.
And a problem for Newcastle with Matthew Johns hurting his hand or his arm in a try-saving tackle on Albert Torrens. There was a great tackle, but unfortunately, we knew that he was coming into this game a little bit hurt. There you can see him carrying the right hand or the right lower arm after what was, I've got no doubt, saving 4 points for his team.
So the line drop out. John's taking a fracture in the hand into the match. And here is Doyle for Manly. This set of 6 starts 30 metres out from the Newcastle line, and they're fairly silent, the fans in Newcastle. They realise there's plenty of tension right at the moment, even though they do have a 12-point lead. Their side has gone off the boil. Field passing there for Mackay, trying to stand tall in the tackle, can't offload. In front of the Newcastle post. It comes back then for Field, then for Kosef. Kosef for Tuvey. Tuvey is claimed there in the tackle of Braderis. A hit of a forward pass. Doyle from dummy half is 5 metres out. Lifted up and able to offload. Manly keeping the ball alive with Field. 10 metres out from the line. It comes over the top. Batted on by Peters. Straight in the arms of Moody. It should be goodbye. Hill is chasing. Field is chasing. But Moody's got too much of a start. The lure is home. Moody scores for Newcastle. And the scoreline, the difference is 16. But I'm sure it was Adam Peters who batted it on.
He did bat it on, but Craig Field was the man who made the decision to keep the play alive. Must have realised that the fact that they had thrown together some passes, the outside Newcastle defence had to be up. Scott Fulton going one way, back the other. Here's Craig Field, steps around, throws the long pass. It is batted on. And Jason Moody just timed his run. Nobody was ever going to catch him. Hill and Field valiant in the chase, but he's a speedster, this man. And they've repelled the attack. Manly came at them early in this second half, got to within 6. They've steadied the ship and now running away with it. Tremendous depth at this club in Newcastle, and we're seeing the evidence of that this afternoon. Jason Moody, he has never been a particularly regular member of the first grade side, but he is a first grader in every shape and form. But we've got Badiris back, we've got Fletcher back, Harrigan's back. And of course, we've just heard at half-time Matthew Gidley not far away from gracing the field once again. So things are looking particularly rosy after a month.
It's Moody's third try this year against Manly. 2 in round 1. John successful. They got within 6, Manly, and now the scoreline shows an 18-point difference. And that is trouble again. Steve Roach.
Well, Manly had the overlap here. It would have been better at Craigfield if caught and passed, and then they just spread the football. Instead, he stepped inside and threw the pass, and then Peters tapped it on. And as you said, there's no way they're going to catch this bloke. But haven't they weathered the storm, this Newcastle Knights team in the second half? Now they're right in front on the scoreboard.
That's a shame for the Eagles, because we've just seen the best 20 minutes of football they've played all season. Started to hit some form. Cliff Lyons still weaving some magic. We would think the game's out of reach now. Newcastle have sort of worn them down.
Albert Torrens with a restart for Manly. And Newcastle, of course, the breeze at their backs in this second half. Lomax. They certainly got a shock. 2 quick tries to Manly after half-time.
I must see the game of rugby league a lot differently to a lot of other people. If I have a criticism of Newcastle, it's that they play too much football, that they don't play enough one-out stuff and just steady things. And that's why I think they got in trouble towards the end of the second half of the first half, because they just tried to be too fancy. And I'm sure that Warren Ryan, in coming to Newcastle this year, will want them to play their attractive play, but also be a little bit more careful with the football and play a little bit more insurance with them.
O'Brien, a dummy half. Back for Andrew Johns. A kick from inside the 40, but more height than length on the kick. Comes down short of the 20-metre line. Bounces nicely for King. And he's almost back to the 30-metre line. Blocker with a report on Matthew Johns in just a moment. There's now with Frew, only 2 or 3 metres out of dummy half. Albert, the tackler. Newcastle will be happy that Albert has come through safely. Steve, what is the story with Matthew?
Yeah, he's had a crook finger leading into this match. He's just had it restrapped, and he will be back out there for the Knights. And just for the Sea Eagles, Neil Tierney's had a hamstring problem. They're working on him, trying to get him back onto the ground, but it doesn't look like he will be coming back.
Kosef here for Manly, offloading for King. He's 25 metres out and he stood up. Hughes, King's away. It's not over yet. It is not over yet as Manly get their third try. 28-14, and King, he's just loving it. A running game for the fullback.
Well, the fans are getting their money's worth, aren't they? Some wonderful tries being scored this afternoon. Nick Kosef showing his strength. Lovely little offload, 1 against 1. And Andrew King shows a good turn of speed and some nice evasion to beat Mark Hughes and also the pursuing chasers.
Good stuff there from the Eagles. Nick Kosef today has played his best game of the season, no doubt about it. That's the Nick of old, hitting the line offloading. And Andrew King, we saw him do this plenty of times when he was playing for the Gold Coast. And he's brought that trait to the Eagles, and he also today has had a fine game. Good strong stuff there from Kosef, bumping off one, standing up from the tackle, then offloading. He's got some speed, Andrew King, and a nice step to get around Mark Hughes there. Billy Peden chased in vain.
He really is the ideal player to have around the scrum base, isn't he, Nick Kosef? We've seen him start finals at 5'8", but he's strong and he's got tremendous ball skills along with that, so he's a complete package.
Newcastle have conceded 3 tries again today. I showed you the statistic in the first half. They had conceded 11 so far for the season, and now 14. It would be a concern. And this match perhaps not over. Manly scored 2 in quick time just after the break. The double here will make it very interesting. The problems of last week coming back to haunt the Knights. Loose kick from 20 metres out. And 15 in from touch. He's got it. That's a good one into the breeze. And it's 12 the deaf. 28-16, the Knights over the Eagles.
Celebrating 40 years in Australia, Mazda are doing great value deals on all Mazda vehicles. So get into the Life Begins at 40 celebrations. And get a great deal more from Mazda.
Right now, the huge yard equipment sellout at Taylor Discount Mowers. Hundreds of mowers, brush cutters, edgers, chainsaws, blowers, vacs and shredders, all at bargain prices. Only at Taylor Discount Mowers, 344 Brunker Road, Adamstown.
Catch a magic deal in Harvey Norman's March Madness sale. Look at this. Fisher & Paykel clothes dryer, now a crazy $2.99. And the Fisher & Paykel washer, 5 kilo capacity and 5-year warranty. Magic value at $5.99. Huge 520-litre Westinghouse refrigerator, 5-star energy rating, now just $9.99. Panasonic microwave, family sized and feature pack, slashed to $100, now only $3.99. But only while stocks last in Harvey Norman's March Madness sale. Bennett's Green Superstore in Maitland.
Autumn, a time of change when nature gently prepares us for a new lifestyle. Now is the perfect time to change your living and lifestyle options with a Spanline Home Edition and take advantage of Spanline's Home Improvement Discount Incentive Scheme.
It's Mr. Sports Footy Sale, so come and tackle the deal. Buy any senior footy boots and get a sports bag, socks, Nike cap and football free. Buy selected junior footy boots and get a football and sports bag free. Huge footy savings at Mr. Sports, 440 High Street, Maitland and William Street, Raymond Terrace.
Made for Australia by Australians. Plug-in Pest Free has set the standard in safe, responsible pest control, contributing to a cleaner environment. Protect your home from cockroaches and rodents without hazardous chemicals. Just plug in, switch on and forget.
Join the many thousands of satisfied customers who now rely on Pest Free to protect their home and family. It makes good sense.
Plug in Pest Free. Phone 1800 678 005 now.
William Shakespeare here. My complete works, all 37 plays, have been squeezed, reduced and concentrated into 97 minutes. Now, some people might find that kind of thing very funny, but Glyn Nicholas, Sean O'Shea and Russell Fletcher will have a lot to answer for. Thank goodness it's only playing for a limited season.
The hilarious complete works of William Shakespeare, Civic Theatre, Newcastle. Tickets on sale now. Book at the theatre or Ticketek.
Excuse me while I turn in my grave.
Make a marathon. Craig Field on the bench. Owen Cunningham at his side. Can the Seagulls come up with another try? Mackay comes back from in goal for Manly. Running straight at Troy Fletcher. And the comeback trail for the Newcastle Knights. Manly trapped inside their 20. Moody providing plenty of push and shove in the tackle on Gartner. Scott Fulton for Tuvey. Lyons on his outside. Tuvey was cleaned up. Cleaned up by Bill Peden there. Straight to his feet, the little Manly captain. Well, they've worked wonders on Neil Tierney. He's back out there for Manly. 30 out from their own line. Fulton goes for a run from dummy half. Then Burrows for 5. And that is the last tackle for Manly. They need some sort of result from this play. Lyons tries a kick. It's come off the side of the boot for Cliffy. And it's out on the full. Newcastle will come up with a ball on the Manly 40-metre line. Second time in the match for Cliffy.
You can see the disappointment on Cliff Lyons' face. We're also going to see a Newcastle penalty going against Scott Fulton. Mistake compounded there, and Andrew Johns will pick up good ground with this kick. In fact, he finds great ground. Wind's very, very strong. He's kicked it to 10 metres out.
10 metres out, and a tap from Walters for Andrew Johns. Then Clinton O'Brien. An offload again from Clinton for Andrew Johns. Then it comes wide for Rudder. He steps off the left and is tackled by Kosef. 5 metres out. Peden. Lomax. Wobbling almost out of his grasp. Back for Peden. That's where he played the ball. And a sloppy play the ball it was. Walters up for the Chief. Burrows almost losing control of the ball as he got close to the Manly line. Plays it for Walters. The truck has a go from dummy half. He hasn't forced it. He's got it down on a Manly leg. It'll be a scrum feed to Newcastle, 10 out.
There's Stevie Boy searching for his second try of the day. He's very strong, those little chunky legs get him going forward. And held up. Yeah, good defence there from the Eagles.
That's Andrew King's left leg. Twisted and turned and got it round there. Andrew Johns from the scrum win. Rudder Wide for Craigie. Rudder playing 5'8" with Matthew Johns off. Newcastle 9 metres out. Medeiros in a dummy half. Infield for Bill Peden. Busy as always, Billy Peden today. His stats, 17 tackles and 12 hit-ups. Now Steve Walters up for Harrigan. A flat ball there, fielded by Lomax. Dump back there for Steve Walters. Now Andrew Johns stepping. Johns comes within a metre of scoring. 12 points is the margin at the moment. Another try kills off the Manly hopes, and that's exactly what they've done with Rudder. It's all over as far as the Sea Eagles are concerned. They'll be Norton 4. And Newcastle another try.
Now we've seen some very flamboyant efforts this afternoon in scoring tries. This one, probably the simplest one of the afternoon. Chief taking the ball forward, and that was the tackle, or the penalty, I'm sorry, against Scott Fulton. And Andrew Johns picked up about 40 metres on the fly with the kick for line. And for Manly, well, they had plenty of troops there, but they just didn't come up in a line together. Cliff Lyons a little bit slow up on the inside. The gap opened up between Lyons and Hill, and Rudder was quite happy to take it.
Only his second try in first grade, in only his 8th match. Walker told us in the first half he was one to watch.
And he's got nice hair too.
Lovely stuff. We pay him the big dollars.
Yeah, Blocker was right. He's a good player, Sean Rudder, and his involvement this afternoon has been first class. Shown plenty of versatility as well. He's played in a couple of different positions over the course of this game.
Oh, I love Horton. 5'8" for Australia it was. Andrew Johns with his kick, you can see he's gone back 25 metres. Breeze at his back.
He'll be aiming this about 10 metres to the right of the post, hoping to bring it back.
Good success rate this year, only 3 misses. Had his problems last year, you remember. He was inconsolable after State of Origin 1. Second time the ball has fallen off the mound. We're looking for the Charlie Brown play in a moment, getting a bloke up to put the finger on it. Johns 10 metres in from touch. And waste no time with a run-up this time, Andrew Johns. It was like a flying run in to kick. Unsuccessful, his 4th miss of the year, 32-16, 10 remaining block.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time, wasn't it? The Newcastle Knights are experts at getting repeat sets. Just a little thing on Sean Rudder too. He joined the Knights when he was 15 years old in 1994 and made his first grade debut last year, so he's not a bad young player. Saw a lot more of him.
Seagulls just making a change in their line between Tierney and Cunningham. So no hurry to restart the play from Craig Field. Now Tuvey has jogged around to Craig Field's left. And players back underway. In time on the kick for Mark Hughes. Lomax coming back and running at Cunningham. Straight to ground on the 20-metre line. Reminder too about Friday night football to kick off round 5. We will come to you from the stadium, the Olympic Stadium, the clash between the Bulldogs and Brisbane. Broncos returned to form, I thought, last night. They still didn't get the cash against Cronulla, but it was an improved performance. They'll be running into a Canterbury side that we saw on Friday night, squandered a 7-point lead against Melbourne. Well, didn't really squander it. It was the good play of Melbourne that forced the issue. So it should be a fine matchup. The rematch of last year's grand final. Andrew Johns' kick from inside the 40 is straight down the centre of the park. Back goes Reeves. It'll almost go dead in goal. He decides to pick it up. There's 8 Newcastle chasers on the kick. And Reeves is to ground. 5 metres out from the line. Terry Hill. Hasn't really found much of the football today, Terry Hill. And again with Andrew Frew. Scott Fulton come infield with Gartner. Claimed over the top. Some heavy work from Clinton O'Brien. Stephen Menzies again missing from the Manly side today. We understand it's an ankle injury that's keeping him out. And last tackle for Field. Kicks away from Mark Hughes. Albert going back for it as well. Sure, the Newcastle fans want to see Darren Albert have another run. He gets his chance now. He was clipped on the way through there by Cliff Lyons. End to ground, 5 short of halfway. Banderas and then Mark Hughes. Newcastle forward still coming back onside. Newcastle with a win today will go to 4 points. 2-2 to start the year. Another unbeaten at the top. And now Banderas away for Clinton O'Brien. 30 metres out. The Knights players has been left behind. It is Darren Albert. I think it's just cramped though. He's back near halfway. It comes up for Harrigan. Held in the tackle of Cunningham. The Chief was looking to unload. He has lost it in trying to pass. Knock on the call from Harrigan and a Manly scrum feed. And Albert's back on his feet too.
He has been a bit rusty this afternoon, Paul Harrigan, but that's to be expected. He was looking to offload, tried to drag it back when he saw Gartner come around the side. But again, just the influence he has on the side is so important. I think they believe they're a much better rugby league team with Harrigan out there, and with that belief, they are.
Phil did the spin at the scrum base and then threw a long ball for Torrens. He's claimed in the tackle of Banderas. Very good game today from Banderas. He's done everything asked of him. He's come back to first grade. He had a first division appearance last week. He hadn't played before that after undergoing shoulder surgery. Only 5 inside their own half. The captain played it. Now field with Lyons. Decoy was Cunningham, read by the defence. Gartner has claimed. Matthew Johns back on, making the tackle. He may have collected his brother Andrew Johns. He's in some trouble now. Andrew limping around. And Manly on halfway with their fullback Andrew King. Tierney's gone to the bench for Manly. I think that's the last we've seen of him. He limped off. And Craig Field on the last tackle floats the ball there for Reeves. He kicks back in field. It's over the head of Andrew Johns. It bounces up for Kosev, then put down by Gartner. Manly get a hand to it. It will be a knock on. So a changeover for Newcastle.
Some enterprising play there on the 5th tackle by the Eagles. Clipping wants a rest. Good ball from Craig Field. And a centre kick. And they're well chased up by Nick Kosev, which wasn't to be.
There was some good news here at Marathon Stadium today for Manly. They won their first matches of the year. First division, they beat Newcastle 26-24. I can report they also won Jersey Flegg. That was their first win in any of the 3 grades this year. And an improved showing in first grade. Having trailed 16-0 at half-time. Matthew Johns. Knights getting the offloads again. It come back there for Peden. Andrew Johns has put it down. Then through the legs of Tooby. Manly get to the loose ball. Whether he found a double knock-on in there, but he decided to play one. The first against Newcastle. Couldn't find where it went forward off a Manly player. He'll be the judge at home. It just goes through the legs of Jeff Tuvey. Craig Field. There for Tuvey, standing at 5'8". Away for Hill, then on for Torrens. Torrens is away to Frew. And sliding across, Albert making the tackle. And now back in field for Wes Doyle. Picked up in the tackle, trying to get that left arm free. He's lost it in trying to pass. Newcastle unable to get to the loose ball. O'Brien was coming through.
And with just 3 minutes to go in this game, some positives to come out of it for both teams. There's the completion rate. Not particularly good from either team. In fact, both coaches will be concerned about that. But obviously for Newcastle, another win. Haven't won since round 1, so they a little bit of winning form back their way. And Manly, well, they've shown patches this afternoon of what they're capable of. If they can put it together for a full 80 minutes, they're not far away from a victory. At the moment, they still will languish on the bottom of the competition ladder.
They run into Souths next Saturday, the Manly side. Here's a high ball from Manly to the wing of Craigie, and Craigie, beautiful take. Beautiful take under pressure too, with Terry Hill coming through with Reeves. And Newcastle next week playing Western Suburbs. In fact, that's on Monday week. Here's the take of Craigie. It's always good to see the players, AFL style, getting their hands above the head. And now Craigie is away in attack. Cut down by Gartner. Ludio up there for Harrigan. Then O'Brien for Andrew Johns. They're lined up on the outside. Matthew Johns. Here goes Banderas. Then for Albert. And claimed by Torrens. 31 metres away from the Manly line for Matthew Johns. Now they try some ad-lib football. Andrew Johns turning and passing for grief. He straightens up the point of the attack Fielded there by Johns. Batted along the line for Butterfield. He was minding his own business out in the left centre. Tackle 29 metres out. Fifth it is for Newcastle. Last 90 seconds of this match. Andrew Johns with a chip over the top. Fielder's back for Manly. He wanted the pass to King through the dummy and is cleaned up by Andrew Johns. The Seagulls come back. He will be at the bottom of the table alongside Brisbane. With 4 straight losses to start the year. It's a long way back. Craig Field away for Gartner. Trying to get through the tackle of Harrigan. Field to the left side, winding down the clock with through. He tries a high kick. Interesting one, that. Let's go out on the full. He was headed over the sideline in his defence. I don't think it's one he'll do again. Newcastle, one would think, will get perhaps one more tackle in this match.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see them kick from this scrum win. They've done it before, right at the end of games.
And there's the kick, called by Sterlo. And Mark Hughes is chasing through, but Brendan Reeves was alert to it and gets back for Manly. So they'll get the last play of the match. It's with Albert Torrens. He's taken by Harrigan. 10-second count from the fans. I should mention too, the crowd today over 17,000. 17,381. And they've witnessed another 80 minutes in the NRL competition and another 80 minutes that has seen Manly suffer a loss and Newcastle claim their second victory for the year. 32 points to 16 here at Marathon Stadium. After the Knights had led by 16 points to 0 at half-time. Manly threatened after the break. They scored 2 quick tries in the space of 5 minutes. That was as close as they got. And 16 points at the end, the winning margin. 6 tries in total. Walters, Shields, Craigie, Grief, Moody and Rudder. The intercept try for Moody, a big turning point as far as the second half was concerned. Andrew Johns landed 4 from 6 for Newcastle. And for Manly, Andrew King 2 tries. Terry Hill a try. And Reeves and Field a goal each. The day that Cliffy Lyons made his comeback. The chat there with another veteran, Tony Butterfield. A pretty good day for Cliff Lyons on the field. A couple of kicks out on the full and 1 drop ball, but apart from that, he was one of Manly's better players. So repeating full time here in Sunday football. Newcastle 32, Manly 16. And we'll be back shortly with Peter and Paul to wrap things up. And Blocker will have our $1,000 man of the match.
Stay with us. Coming up in our news, an American stealth fighter shot down over Yugoslavia. The coalition counts the cost of a crushing loss to Labor in the state election. And Steve Waugh and Ricky Ponting put Australia on top in the 3rd cricket test. Details at 6.
Sydney Royal Easter Show at Homebush Bay. Don't miss it.
There's nothing in the world like it.
See the exciting new range of furniture and accessories at Vogue Zone Interiors Belmont, just south of the 16-footers.
Queensland.
Queensland's hottest show bag comes to Harvey Norman, Sydney. Over $200 worth of value for just $15. And only available from a Harvey Norman store. Not available at the show. You get a Sony PlayStation cap, your choice of an MYOB, Dataflow or Turok 2 t-shirt, 3 children's books from Scholastic, a compact yo-yo, super disc water bottle, a Semantic New York 2000 mug and much more. All this for just $15. What a mega bargain. What a mega bag. Queensland's hottest show bag comes to a Harvey Norman store near you. Make sure you get yours.
UNH 1020 Millibar, stand by family holiday. You're clear for takeoff.
Get your wings now at Fighter World.
When you multi-list with EAC, your home is featured in this book, The EAC Realtor. It comes out every Friday and it's free. Make sure your agent puts your home in the Realtor. It's the book where buyers look.
Here's a real Easter meal deal from Henny Penny. 1 Henny Penny barbecue chicken or 8 original Henny Penny pieces, plus 1 large Henny Penny chips, 1 large gravy, 1 large peas, and 1 Henny Penny garlic bread. All this for a crazy $13.95 from a Henny Penny store near you.
Travel with Companions Britain and Europe expert Judy Vandenberg as she departs on another exciting group tour to Britain, Europe and Ireland. Visit the world-famous Edinburgh Tattoo and travel through the picture book mountain scenery of the Swiss Alps. To find out more, contact Companion on 131 609.
The Newcastle Knights have recorded their second victory of the season with an entertaining 32-16 win over Manly. Plenty of tries scored. Walters got one, so too Shields, Craigie, Grief, Moody and Rudder. Andrew Johns kicked 4 from 6. While for the Seagulls, Andrew King got a double, Terry Hill a try. Field kicked 1 from 2. Brendan Reeves successful with his kick at goal. A good performance from Newcastle this afternoon. They got away to a flyer. The man we chose as their best is with Steve Roach.
The $1,000 Channel 9 man of the match goes to Andrew Johns. Andrew, good performance from the Knights. A little bit sloppy in patches.
Yeah, that's right. I think we've got to get back to what we're good at, and that's grinding forward with our big forwards and trying to get our backs to capitalise on that. I think we're sort of trying to stride around before we've earned the respect to.
Yeah, well, Manly's defence wasn't that good in the first half. You got plenty of offloads in second phase play, but you get excited when that sort of thing starts to happen.
It's very hard to set up your plays. You know, me and Matthew like to work to an area field and put a set play on and try to get someone one-on-one, but when there's a lot of offloads, it's sort of all over the shop and it's very hard to organise. So, Warren will work on that. He's, without doubt, probably the best coach I've been coached under, so I'd say he'll work on that this week.
Were you a little bit worried when Manly come back at you 15 minutes into the second half?
Yeah, I think it's a habit we've got, into a bad habit, and, we've got to be very ruthless, and when we've got a side down, really go for the throat, so, something we've got to work on.
All right, mate, congratulations on your form. You're playing outstanding, and congratulations on the 1,000.
Thanks, Block. Thanks a lot.
Andrew Johns once again dominant. Matthew Johns not far behind him, and they really control things very, very well once again for the Knights. And Paul, most people came here today expecting quite a big scoreline in favour of the home side. That wasn't the case. How did you see it?
Yeah, no, Pete, I thought Manly performed fairly strongly today. Newcastle, with the amount of ball they had, especially in that first half, were entitled to win by fair dinkum 30 or 40. But Manly stuck to their guns well in that second half. I thought some good games today by Cliff Lyons, making his debut for the year, playing his 290th first-grade game, was very good. Nick Kossoff played his best game of the season. Andrew King did some good things at fullback. All in, I think Bob Fulton would be reasonably happy with their performance today. Makes for a strong game next week against South Sydney. Yeah, that was the positive, wasn't it? Some of their higher-profile players finding some of their form. One of those, as Paul mentioned, was Nick Kossoff. He, too, is with Steve Roach.
Well, Nick, a little bit unfortunate. You guys had a go. Had a shot back at him in the second half. You could have got away with it, but bombed a couple of opportunities.
Yeah, true, Block. We had some good opportunities in the second half, and we didn't capitalise on them. And to Newcastle's credit, they come back and put the points on the board. So that's the way it goes.
Yeah, just going back to the first half, it didn't look like you guys were competing good enough at the marker and the loose ball, the high ball. Was that a problem in the first half?
Yeah, I think that's been a problem for our game all year. Like they've been telling us the 1%. They're the things that make you win games, and we haven't been coming up with them. And that's something we have to work on in the next couple of weeks, and just keep improving. We'll get there.
Yeah, a lot of positives to come out of the game, including the return of Cliffy Lyons. I thought he played pretty well, except for a couple of mistakes.
Yeah, I thought Cliff's great. He's a legend, mate. There's nothing else can be said about the bloke, and he's done it all, and he'll do it again.
All right, mate. Thanks very much for your time. Good luck next week.
Yeah, plenty of involvement from Nick Kossoff today, and Bob Fulton will be looking for that in the coming weeks. 3 other games played today. It's a big scorelines once again. The Bears just knocked home over the Cowboys at Suncorp, 26-18. At Ericsson, the Roosters defeated the Warriors 28-14. And down in Canberra at Bruce Stadium, the Raiders too strong for the Magpies, 38-14. So at the completion of round 4, just 2 leaders. The Sharks and the Bears unbeaten, 5 teams on 6 points. At the other end of the scale, Western Suburbs moved to 2 points courtesy of the bye, leaving the Broncos and the Sea Eagles on 0 points. Next Thursday night, don't forget at 9:30 p.m, the footy show comes your way. Fatty Blocker and myself in attendance. And following that, day one of the World Short Course Swimming Championships coming from Hong Kong. That's at 10:30 p.m. Of course, all of Australia's best swimmers have made the trip there and will be competing. Next Friday night, to kick off round 5, we're back to Stadium Australia with the Bulldogs up against the Broncos. Last year's grand finalists in action at 8:30 p.m. And then on Sunday, we're down to Wynn Stadium for the St George Illawarra Dragons clash with the North Sydney Bears. But today, good win for Newcastle. For now, on behalf of the Channel 9 crew, we wish you a very good night.
Andrew Johns kicking this time for the Wintergreens. He's lost it. Newcastle, second try to the ninth. It's really unfolded in a soft manner. Kosef here for Manly, offloading for King. He's 25 metres out, he stood up, Hughes. King's away. It's not over yet. It is not over yet as Manly get their third try.
This has been a presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Elegance and romance. Then
There's ice ahead.
it happened.
Dearest God.
An unforgettable event of the century.
There is no God.
Titanic, Tuesday on NBN.
The 26-year-old from Melbourne, well done.
You can tell who uses Valvoline. You can tell. You know what I mean. You can tell who uses Valvoline.
You can tell who uses new generation Valvoline. You know what I mean.
See the exciting new range of furniture and accessories at Vogue Zone Interiors Belmont, just south of the 16-footers.
Every Saturday night is Jukebox Night at Cardiff Workers Club. Join the Jukebox 7:30 till midnight for lots of great music, fun and giveaways. It's all happening with free entry because every Saturday night is Jukebox Night at Cardiff Workers Club.
Help us celebrate the arrival of our new chef in Broadmeadow with a sumptuous seafood buffet. Prawns, oysters, seafood basket and grilled fish of the day. All for just $19.95. You'll love it all.
Here's a home loan breakthrough from the Greater Building Society. Home loans are just 5.25% per annum, capped for 12 months. And now, for a very limited time, you pay no application fee, no valuation fee, no society legal fees. You can save $600. And at the Greater, you pay no account keeping fees. But hurry, offer must end March 31st. Greater Home Loans.
That's the Greater.
Call 13 13 86.
At Thrifty, we know how important it is to keep your business moving. That's why we rent such a huge range of commercial vehicles. From 8-ton trucks to 3-tonners, minibuses, vans and utes. In fact, we carry one of the largest commercial rental fleets in Australia. So whatever vehicle you need, at Thrifty, we've got truckloads.
Go with someone you can trust. Thrifty.
It's Mr. Sports Footy Sale, so come and tackle the deal. Buy any senior footy boots and get a sports bag, socks, Nike cap and football free. Buy selected junior footy boots and get a football and sports bag free. Huge footy savings at Mr. Sports, 440 High Street, Maitland and William Street, Raymond Terrace.
Looking for a new car?
Kelly Holden's got your car. You want to buy a used car? Kelly Holden's got your car. Come on out to Kelly Holden Carter and Gateshead. Kelly Holden, got your car.
Kelly Holden's got your car.
Ultrapack, incredible, inflatable, removable roof racks. No bolts, no screws, just fit and clip in minutes. Fit all cars, 4-wheel drives, carry your ski, surfboard, ladder up to 80 kilos. $99 and a free pump. Ultrapack Katara, call 49561 666 now.
Veronica's Closet returns in all new episodes, 8:30 Monday on NBN. Tonight, 6:30, remember when fibro was fashionable? 100 years of homemaking revisited in our century, followed by Our Country Australia on NBN.
evening and welcome to our news. I'm Jodie McKay. Tonight, an American fighter jet shot down over Serbia. Bob Carr's landslide victory in the state election. And a record partnership steers the Aussies to victory in the third test. A United States military rescue team has found the pilot of a stealth bomber thought to be shot down by Serbian troops. The Pentagon has confirmed the stealth fighter crashed near Belgrade, but they won't say whether it was.
Watch your backs, it's time for the maniac attack. I'm tipping the world to the beach side. Hide if you fall on the wrong side. Cause I'm ready to roll your cage, turn your page, rise for the dawn of a new age. Back with the faces, in with the boys. Yeah, let's make some noise. I'm back with the faces, in with the boys. Come on everybody, let's make some noise. Alright. Now we're coming across the tracks, watch your backs. It's time for the maniac attack. I'm tipping the world to the beach side. Hide if you fall on the wrong side. Cause I'm ready to roll your cage, turn your page, rise for the dawn of a new age. Back with the faces, in with the boys. Yeah, let's make some noise. I'm back with the faces, in with the boys. Come on everybody, let's make some noise. Back with the faces, in with the boys. Yeah, let's make some noise. I'm back with the faces, in with the boys. Let's make some noise. Go, go.
Let's have a look at their starting side for today. 37 years of age, Cliff Lyons. This is their side: King, Frew, Torrens, Hill and Reeves. Lyons will wear 19. Field, the forwards: Kosef, Gartner, Mackay, Cunningham, Tuvey and Tierney. Bob Fulton, the coach. What about it, Fatty? Cliff Lyons is back.
Well, desperate times need desperate measures, and it is desperate down at the Eagles because they haven't had a win yet. And Adam Hayden out for quite a few weeks, and Cliffy, he thinks he can provide some direction.
And now the Newcastle Knights. You couldn't say travelling greatly as far as success is concerned this year. 1 from 3. Paul Harrigan comes back from injury today. Their side is Hughes, Albert, Baderis, Craigie, Moody, the halves, the Johns brothers, and the forwards: Peden, Lomax, Shields, Harrigan in 18 and captain, Walters and Butterfield. Troy Fletcher comes back on the bench today from injury, and Peter Sterling, a big boost to have the chief in the Knights ranks.
For their confidence especially. He's been sorely missed, has not played since that opening game at the Stadium Australia in round 1, and the foundation that he sets along with Tony Butterfield, instrumental in so many Knights victories. He'll be looking for a big one this afternoon, the chief.
Very blustery conditions here at Marathon Stadium. Steve Roach can tell us more. Good afternoon.
Yeah, a couple of seasons ago, this would have been the hottest ticket in town, but not today. Manly struggling for form, and Newcastle aren't the sort of side to come up against it when you're doing it tough, especially on their home ground. 22 degrees, a gusty sou'easter. Manly have won the toss, are running right to left with the breeze in the first half.
Well, Steve Roach, this breeze in the first half at the backs of the Manly players. Bill Harrigan, the referee. And it is time on with Andrew Johns. And Manly it is field. And back for Mackay. He's in the second row for an injured Stephen Menzies. Mackay also coming back after missing last week against Auckland. And now Gartner, 25 metres out from their own line. Manly desperate to get off to a good start. They've already lost once this year to Newcastle. That was in round 1 at Stadium Australia, and some big score lines since then. Head-to-head, though, is in Manly's favour. A strong record overall and also here at Marathon. Mackay gets a second touch. Pushed back from the 40-metre line. The crowd just a little bit down on what Newcastle were hoping for today. Still very healthy, though. And Field kicking from inside the 40-metre line, and that kick on the fly has made 50 metres. Mark Hughes back to his own goal line. And out he comes. There's plenty of Manly chasers there. Kosef, the first man.
Well, you talk about the record between these two clubs, Andrew. The Knights have not beaten Manly here at Marathon since 1991. But Manly come into this game after 3 matches, averaging 41 points scored against them. Quite remarkable.
So Newcastle in possession for the first time in the match, and Butterfield relinquishing the captaincy today with Harrigan back. Now Walters makes 10 metres. Already some defensive problems for Manly. They were just a little slow there and covering up once the offload was made. Now Shields gets over halfway, and Harrigan has caught Manly inside the 10. And now Mackay has kicked the ball away, and Harrigan marches them another 10.
And all of a sudden, instead of kicking for touch, we might see a shot at goal here. Matthew Johns was looking to get an early tap going. Mackay came in, booted the football away. Harrigan saw it. Johns takes the tap anyway.
And Matthew to brother Andrew, stepping away from Gartner. He was covered up by Mackay, 20 metres out. And Newcastle, the roll continues. They'll put the squeeze on early on Manly with Harrigan, 15 out. Waters, Andrew Johns is to the right side, Matthew to the left, and that's the way they go. Matthew, inside ball with Peter. And chopped down 5 metres from the line. Tuvey was low in the tackle. And Walters to the right, Matthew. Kicking well before the last. Back goes King, back goes through, and over the dead ball line.
Well, already Manly under some pressure, missed a couple of tackles. First up one-on-one tackle, some indecision here. Through, I think he went to let it go. He did let it go, but Andrew King, the safe option there, was Tony Butterfield breathing down their necks. Just on Cliff Lyons. He's only approached during the week with Adam Hayden being out for quite a few weeks. They just felt they needed some direction. Cliffy's kept himself quite fit. He's been training with his under-17 teams that he coaches. He did the phosphate test during the week, come up pretty well, and he's cut the bungers down from 40 to 35.
Well, he's got all the inside information. Phosphate test. And Butterfield outside the 20-metre line for Newcastle. Harrigan, they go high on Harrigan and still he offloads. Kosef was the man who went basically close enough to the neck. And it comes wide with Baderas. He returns from shoulder surgery today.
Well, I was at Parramatta if you could spell phosphate. That was the test you got in the side.
I thought it was a public school, the phosphate, but there you go. And Newcastle are with it 10 metres out from the Manly.
It just took off. Like just all on its own. Where are we going to get the money to fix this ceiling?
Wallet wizard! Fast and easy.